Good afternoon. My name is Paul Reed, and it's my privilege to serve as publisher of the Journal of Business. 6 months ago, I never dreamed we would be celebrating in this way, over Zoom, but celebrate we will. Welcome to Rising Stars 2020. Spokane has many gifts, but in my view, one of its greatest strengths is its younger professionals who embody all of those attributes we so desperately need to take our fantastic community into the future. Those of you being honored today, and many others on the line, are the reason I am so optimistic about our future. As a Spokane native, I want to thank you personally for all you do and all you are. Now a word about this event. Our wonderful team has worked very hard to pivot to this technology to ensure we celebrate each of our honorees best we can. But as technologies want, there could be some glitches today. So I want you to be patient, keep a smile on your face, and take this in the spirit in which we are providing it. Last, before we begin, I want to thank our partner in Rising Stars, Washington Trust Bank, for staying with us in this odd pandemic year, and for their earnest desire, I think, to honor our 2020 cohort of Rising Stars. With us today, via the magic of Zoom, is Elisabeth Hooker. So at this time, I'd like to shift virtually from the Journal of Business studios to the Washington Trust Bank. Take it away, Alyssa.
Hi, my name's Elisabeth Hooker, and I'm the event strategist at Washington Trust Bank. We are proud to once again be sponsoring this fantastic event. 3 years ago, we were brainstorming ideas with Paul Reed on how we could come together with the Journal of Business to honor and highlight those individuals positively impacting our business communities. It's been a privilege to see how much the Rising Star event has grown and how much support we have in our community for our Rising Stars. Washington Trust Bank has always believed we are only as strong as the communities we serve and do business in. Looking at this group of Rising Stars and the previous Rising Stars, we know our communities and our businesses will continue to thrive, and we're looking forward to sharing some of your current accomplishments today.
Hi, my name is Lynn Parrish. I'm the editor of the Journal of Business. I wish we were celebrating these young professionals in person with appetizers and drinks and in a fancy venue, but I am grateful to you for joining us here virtually today. We'll jump right into it shortly, but first, let me take a moment to tell you how we selected the 10 young professionals we'll be recognizing tonight. In June, we began asking our readers for nominations for Rising Stars. We were looking for young professionals who embody excellence, who thrive in their chosen fields, and who have potential to be leaders in our community, if they aren't already. To be considered a Rising Star, the requirements are few. A candidate has to be under 40 years old when nominated and must live and work in the greater Spokane market. Beyond that, it's up to the nominator to make their pitch for his or her candidate. We asked for nominations, and our readers answered enthusiastically, sending in just under 100 suggestions. Rising Stars is my favorite event that we do, but it's also the most difficult in terms of choosing the honorees. This year, our 6-person editorial team vetted the dozens of nominations we received, debated the candidates' merits, and came up with 10 honorees you'll learn about tonight. Admittedly, it's a subjective process, but the finalists we've selected work in a variety of industries, come from a diversity of backgrounds, and bring a wide range of talents to the Spokane business community. This is our 7th year of honoring Rising Stars. In past years, we recognized 57 individuals in all. Past winners are promising professionals who now work in C-suites, entrepreneurs who have built some of the region's high-profile startups, business owners whose brands have become household names, at least in Spokane. On this list, you'll see one of Spokane's most successful caterers, one of its most innovative nonprofit leaders, and some of its most influential banking executives, among many other names that you will recognize. This year, we add the following names to that list. Joel Barber, the great PMW. Natasha Hill, Natasha L. Hill, PS. DaShawn Bedford, Community-Minded Television. Elisabeth Hooker, Downtown Spokane Partnership. Jason Boudreau, 509 Drive Truck Driving School. Rochelle Marsh, Multifab Incorporated. Toby Broemmeling, West Plains Chamber of Commerce. Alia Russell, Kalispell Casino. Joe Gellatly, Medcurity Incorporated. And Amy Sargent, Multicare Health System. Our first rising star tonight is Joel Barber. If you don't recognize Joel by name, you likely recognize him by design. It might be a horizon on a sweatshirt, a vintage Rainier beer logo on a ball cap, or amorous bears on a billboard. Regardless of what or where, chances are you've seen Joel's work around town if you haven't worn it yourself. As founder and creative director at the great PNW, this Spokane native has taken his idea of creating regional apparel and turned it into a thriving venture with annual sales in excess of $1 million a year. And I'm not just saying all this because he made the most comfortable sweatshirt I've ever owned. Introducing Joel Barber.
Traditionally, I'm a graphic designer, and so I saw there's a gap or non-existent in the marketplace for a clothing company that really represented our area and did it really well, and so I just decided to take my stab at it, and about 7 years later. What's happened since we started the Great PNW is kind of exactly what I've always hoped and dreamed for. It's just been on like fast forward, like everything's happened way quicker, way sooner, way bigger. So I've had to learn really quickly from the business side of things. So when you start, write it down. What is your one reason why you want to start a company? Whether that's financial fulfillment, life fulfillment, you don't like your job, so you want to do something else. But I think as long as you can ask yourself and constantly audit that question, whether that's quarterly, whether that's annually, every few years, what is your one reason why for doing this, running your business, pursuing your dreams, you know? And as long as you can answer that question honestly, I think everything else will kind of fall into place. And we just do our best to continue to put out good design work so people are proud to wear it on their shirt, on a hat, put a sticker on their car. You know, it's really simple, like what we do. You know, we're not changing lives in our work, but like if we're able to enrich people's lives by our products, you know, that's a huge win for us.
Hey guys, I hope this is working. It looks like it is from my end. I guess I got 2 minutes to say how excited I am to be one of the rising stars. And what was pretty cool actually to see the list of past winners and seeing the names go by of people that I know personally, people I work with, just do business stuff with the great PNW is pretty cool to add my name to the list there. So thank you for the Spokane Journal Business for, it's funny to recognize what we do because I feel like we just try to have as much fun as we can every day at the office. So for that to be recognized in the community for our hard work and what we do, thank you. You know, I don't have a ton to say other than I'm pretty excited about this. And yeah, thanks for sharing our story and letting us be a part of it. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Next up is Natasha Hill, an attorney who specializes in family law here in Spokane. Natasha is a long way from where career began, figuratively and literally. Fresh out of law school in California, she had visions of working as an attorney in the entertainment industry. She quickly found herself attracted to the courtroom and helping others. A short while later, she found herself drawn back to her hometown of Spokane, where she established her own practice after a stint with a larger firm. In recent months, Natasha has emerged as one of the prominent and important voices in the Black Lives Matter movement in Spokane. Here's more about Natasha Hill.
I actually didn't have any real exposure to the practice of law. I didn't know any attorneys. I had never had any practical experience being at a law firm, and had only taken one political science class before I made the decision of whether or not to either pursue a graduate degree in sociology or go to law school. Early on, I really liked the litigation aspect as opposed to transactional, where I'd be reviewing contracts, deal making, that kind of stuff in a studio, working in-house. So I liked litigation. I wanted to go to court. I wanted to make arguments. I wanted to have that experience of going through law and motion practice and trial. I think Spokane has a lot of opportunity here, but if we aren't giving if we're not listening to the voices from Black communities, if we're not listening to the voices from Native American communities, and we're selecting or tokenizing people from those communities to regurgitate the systematic racism that's already there, for me, I want that acknowledgement because I want things to improve, and I want this to be a city for change instead of just a city to keep the status quo, because the status quo is racist. We need to lift up the people at the bottom, because when we do that, we lift everybody up. And unfortunately, those are the Black and brown and poor people in our community. And I know that because I'm one of them and I grew up with them. And not very many of us get the opportunities that I had, or even make the choices I made to realize any potential that we all have. Oh, can you guys hear me now? I have my family here, my sister, my kids, my grandmother, her wife. I want to say thank you for the award and excuse the little audio issue there and the technical issues. Want to thank the Spokane Journal of Business for putting this on and everyone being so willing to join and participate. Specifically want to thank the person who nominated me, which is Christy Allen. I believe I got a little notoriety from speaking out and using my platform at the march or multiple marches that we've had, as this summer and heading into fall, things are continuing to be spotlighted in the media in terms of social and systematic injustices and racism that we want, and we've been speaking out for change. So as an attorney here in Spokane and having my own practice, I feel honored to have that platform and really appreciate being recognized here in the Spokane community, which is my hometown. So thank you.
Our next rising star is DaShawn Bedford. DaShawn works as the production manager at Community Minded Television. What does the production manager of a nonprofit television station do? He does it all. Cameraman, editor, video production systems operator. DaShawn leads CMTV 14's team with a skill set that's self-taught, a drive that's self-motivated, and a constant desire to learn new technologies and techniques. Many of you may know Sean as a member of the champion Spokane Community College basketball team from the early 2000s. And if you don't know him from there, you're going to be knowing him from his role in community-minded television. We're proud to present DaShawn Bedford.
Have to keep learning. It doesn't get old, doesn't get stagnant. New things every day. Like today I might be going to do some camera switching. Today I might be a DP. Tomorrow I might be editing. yeah, I mean, it's just different stuff. And just because having a great knowledge base of what's going on and what's happening definitely makes it very interesting to keep learning. I always feel like I have something to prove, even though I may not, but I like having that chip on my shoulder. It's kind of like being the underdog. Like if you take the underdog route, if you lose, you're like, well, I'm the underdog. But most true athletes or go-getters, you know, they're fighting hard. So yeah, that's probably the thing that keeps me wanting to strive and be the best at my position. I think the biggest thing really is your attitude. You know, that's probably like the biggest thing I would say. Even if you mess up and the people see that you're out there really working hard and they see that you have a great attitude and everything else, then they'll bring you back. But if you don't have the right attitude and stuff, they don't want to work with you, because there is, you know, another young person or a young Thundercat or somebody that wants to take your position that probably has a better attitude. So I definitely say your attitude is probably key. If the business is thriving here in Spokane, then the whole community is winning, right? It's just a great way of bringing the community together. And, you know, if that community is doing good, then hopefully other people in the community are doing good. And then the businesses are, you know, putting back into the community to give everybody else opportunities as well. So yeah, I do hope that businesses are successful.
Is needed. I just clicked unmute. We're good to go. Oh boy! Thank you so much. It feels good to receive this award. And as you see, even video production guys have problems from time to time with Zooms and everything. But I definitely want to say thank you, especially to my family and especially to these two guys right here. I mean, they definitely have helped with my success, right along with Maddie Cattle, who's not here with us today. She's at home, but yeah, it's just a great opportunity to work here at CMTV and be a part of a great team, working for the organization, period, to give me that opportunity to become a rising star and, you know, really work at my craft. So I definitely just want to say thank you to everybody I've ever worked with, or, you know, especially to the person that nominated me. I mean, it's cool just because the simple fact is I remember looking in the magazine a couple of years back and seeing this thing called Rising Stars, and I seen a couple of friends in there. I was like, oh, that'd be sweet to get that award one day. And now here I am sitting here and getting this award and stuff. So I guess they do say dreams come true if you work hard at them and, you know, just do right and stuff. So once again, thank you to everybody that's, you know, been a part of my success and that gave me the opportunity and stuff. But it definitely is a team effort, especially, and that's why I have these two guys sitting here with me and stuff. They definitely make my job a lot easier. And it gives me the opportunity to work at my craft a lot more. So once again, thank you.
All right, thanks, DaShawn. Now we're on to Elisabeth Hooker. Who doesn't love Liz? Liz is Marketing and Program Manager at Downtown Spokane Partnership. She's been with the organization for 6 years. In that time, she's helped the DSP navigate tough issues like homelessness, parking shortages, and more recently, government-mandated shutdowns. But she's also had a front row seat to a restoration of Riverfront Park, a renaissance of Spokane's culinary scene, and an increase of developers breathing new life into old buildings. Like the downtown she champions, Liz is energetic and on the rise. Here's more about Liz Hooker.
What's made a difference in my career, what's allowed me to make an impact on my community, have been the opportunities to make mistakes. And I've made quite a few. And from learning from those mistakes, from having leadership that has allowed me to try something new, I've been able to see what works and what does not work. And not every leader is as comfortable with loosening the rope and allowing your team to fail a little bit. And so I think for those that I have worked for, especially Mark Richard, has allowed me to take the time to explore and try zany ideas. And sometimes they're fantastic and sometimes they're not. But either way, we learn and move on. I've always allowed the world around me to help decide what I should be doing and how I should be spending my time. If 5 years from now I'm making a difference and impacting people's lives for the better, then I think that's success. I think the downtown we're going to return to is going to look a little bit different. And I think that's a wildly exciting challenge to figure out, what does the future of an urban space look like, and how can we transition downtown Spokane into that space in a way that is open and welcoming and equitable for everyone.
All right, can you hear me? First, I would just like to congratulate my fellow honorees. I'm humbled to be included alongside so many creative, entrepreneurial, and impactful individuals. And it was a joy to read about all of your accomplishments. And I sincerely hope that we will have an opportunity to gather together in person someday. Thank you as well to every individual who submitted me for consideration. I am heartened to know that there are people out there who think highly enough of me to take the time to write a nomination. And even though as I grew up as a drama nerd, having the spotlight on me is not necessarily my comfort zone. So I'm accepting this honor not just for myself, but also for the team at Downtown Spokane, an organization of people who show up to work every day with a purpose of highlighting and advocating for our city center. 25 years ago, downtown was not an integral part of Spokane's story, but rather a reflection of what neglect can do to a once exciting destination. And since 1995, the Downtown Spokane Partnership has been working to change that. And I believe our deliberate efforts have made a substantial impact in our downtown space. My job is to foster a feeling of excitement in others about engaging with our urban core, and I find joy in bringing people together to convene ideas and events. If I can light an ember of interest in you, if I can make you see yourself in downtown, then I feel satisfied at the end of the day. 2020 has made me realize that there are still people that don't yet consider downtown their downtown, and it's time to find opportunity and obstacles and to reach out and to further engage. So even though I'm just barely snuck in under 40, it's good to know that my star is still rising because the work isn't done, and I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask everyone in this virtual room to consider downtown Spokane your neighborhood and challenge you to participate in the building of community among neighbors. And finally, to my mom and dad, Bob and Pat Hooker, the two people who taught me about hard work and integrity, who have shown up for every moment with unconditional love and support. Just making you proud has been my ultimate accomplishment. I love you and I thank you.
All right, next up is Jason Boudreau, owner of Drive 509 Truck Driving School. Jason left his job as a truck driver to start his new school in 2016. In the beginning, he expected gradual growth. Adding an instructor and a truck after 3 years or so is what he thought would happen. In the third year of business, he has 7 full-time instructors, 3 part-time teachers, 14 trucks, and 16 trailers. The company has outgrown 3 locations and is building a new, hopefully permanent, home in Spokane Valley now. Jason talks about putting his students and employees first, and that approach appears to be paying off. Introducing Jason Boudreau.
When I worked at my job where I was a driver, I wanted to open a school, and so I'd actually spend my free time writing my business plan and thinking about what I would do, what that business plan looked like and everything, and expenses to make it all work. And really, the change was just the leap of faith to just walk away from the 10 years of corporate life to embark on my own adventure, no matter what would happen. Every day I go into my place, I don't call it work. Every day I wake up and go to where I love. My biggest task for the day is how do I make my employees, the people that work with me, how do I make their job easier? So every day we find solutions to make their job easier. Not everyone is the same. Not everyone learns the same. Not everyone has the, not everyone will have the drive to get what they came for. A lot of times you have to open their eyes and see what that looks like for them, and other people just show up and they know that's what they want to do. For me, as a person, my schooling, my life it wasn't easy. I'm not very, how do you say it, the book side, I didn't fit in the school box, right? But when I was able to find what box I fit in, man, possibilities are endless. It's a really cool feeling.
Unmute. Unmute. Oh, there we go. Thanks for that little snippet, business journal. I'm not in an office or anything. This is actually my first, I guess it's my first office I ever had. It's just this little tiny smart box. I turned it into my construction site though. And here's the new school we're gonna be building. Super awesome, but this is where it started. So I figured this was the perfect place to do this. I do want to thank Tammy for, she nominated me on this little thing here. I didn't know it existed. So when it happened, I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. But really, you know, I like listening to Joel, DaShawn, all of his stuff was spot on. Really, it's about the journey and how you get there. Nobody cares really about the end, and nobody cares about the beginning. It's everything in between that you do, all the relationships you create and make in the middle. Really, that's, for me, that's what it's all about, and I can tell from some of you that is also the same thing. So thanks for the award. I promise you the school will be done in Christmas and be way better than this construction box I had 3 years ago. But thank you very much.
Good stuff, Jason. Thank you. Now I'm pleased to introduce Rochelle Marsh. Rochelle spent part of her childhood voyaging to her favorite pop machine and hitching rides on forklifts at Multifab, an aerospace manufacturing company her dad started. A couple of decades later, she's in the C-suite as the company's chief financial officer. An advocate for the manufacturing industry as a whole, Rochelle is described by those who know her as an incredible long-term thinker and a strategist who is capable of taking Multifab to the next level. Let's learn more about Rochelle Marsh.
I started out working for Schweitzer Engineering down in Pullman as a cost accountant and learned manufacturing, the process down there. It's just always been something that has been interesting to me, to learn how products are made and the process flow and how to account for things. Multifab is a company that my dad started when I was young, and at that time it was evolving a little bit more, so I went back to work for him to work on his manufacturing production process and to work in a little bit of his accounting and finance department. Relationships, has kind of been a big part in my turning point. The people that I've met and just their different backgrounds, learning from anybody that I can has really helped me bring new elements to my work and my job. One of the group I am part of is a Next Generation Leaders group, and they are family-owned businesses within this area. And to get feedback from other people who are kind of in a family business and how they have grown their careers and how they work with different industries has been pretty amazing, really. And just the feedback you get from other people, and as you grow friendships and relationships, just the constant contact. For anyone that is looking to go into manufacturing, I'd say go for it. It's exciting. We do fun things in manufacturing. Each day is always different, and we get to create and build and transform. It's really exciting.
Hi, everyone. I just want to say thanks for the nomination. It's pretty incredible to be sitting here amongst a group of so many incredible people. I'm honored for Richard, who nominated me, and the kind words that he shared. In the last couple of years, I've just developed some really good friendships that have helped propel me and push me forward in my career and in my life in general. And for that, I will be forever grateful for. I'm just thankful to be a part of this, and thank you for having me.
All right. We have reached the final of the 4 B-boy names, Boy B names, with Toby Broemmeling. Toby is the Executive Director of the West Plains Chamber of Commerce, and there's no shortage of activity in Toby's world. A new Amazon distribution center hiring people by the hundreds, plans for an electric car manufacturing plant, casino expansions, new retail, more housing. It's all happening in his backyard. With an unusual mix of sincerity, enthusiasm, and faith, Toby is providing leadership that extends beyond the West Plains and influences the entire region. We're pleased to present Toby Broemmeling.
I fell in love with the West Plains because of my wife, grew up out there, and I'd spent a lot of time in the past 10 years volunteering with a faith-based organization that put me in medical aid quite a bit. And so I was on staff with them, just decided I needed to change, and randomly, not random, the stars aligned and the executive director job up at the chamber opened up in about 2018. So when I got hired, the first thing my board told me was go and interview some of the past board members. And so the first board member I spoke to, he basically said, you have one job, and that's to get jobs. And so that was in January of 2018. And then April of 2018, if you remember, Project Rose, big announcement. And so I think they said Amazon was going to bring almost 3,000 jobs. And I was like, look at that, 3 months, my job is done. And so it was just interesting that the job pivoted very quickly from trying to drive growth and jobs to how do you prepare an area for 3,000 jobs that are about to come. So infrastructure, workforce, housing, all those other things that maybe we weren't thinking about before, all of a sudden were slapped or just put right in our lap. And so in a chamber like ours, there's a lot of different personalities and different types of organizations. And so I find that somebody that can connect with the Spokane tribe and the Kalispell tribe and Fairchild Air Force Base and EWU and small business owner in downtown Cheney and large manufacturer, it takes just a discipline to be able to speak those different kind of languages and understand those unique needs helps. And then just kind of realize that you are just trying to serve, but you can't be everything to all people.
Hey, thank you so much. It is really an honor, and it's, yeah, it really is. Thank you so much to Journal of Business. And I just wanted to say, you know, I'm only here because I'm surrounded by so many good people that keep speaking truth in my life and cheerlead for me and mentor me. In the paper this morning, it was really humbling to hear Colonel Newberry's comments. I have to call him Colonel. But yeah, it's been great. I'm blessed because of my position as the executive director. I have an amazing chamber that I get to lead. I've got a great board that comes alongside me as we champion the best area in Spokane, the West Plains. I'm thankful for this family of mine. And yeah, I'm a faith-based guy, so I'm blessed that there's a Jesus out there that tells me that I matter and I have value, even on those days where it sucks and I don't think it. But yeah, I'm just blessed. Thank you. I'm humbled. It's an honor.
All right. Our next rising star is Alia Russell. Alia is the casino operations manager at the relatively new Kalispell Casino. Shortly after high school, Alia started as a slot attendant on the gaming floor of Northern Quest, when it was just a casino and before it was a resort hotel. Placing an emphasis on education in business and entrepreneurship, Alia has moved up through the tribal casino ranks through the years. A desire to be a part of something new attracted her to the leadership position at Kalispell Casino, and her tribe gave her a pivotal role at the venue that's providing much needed jobs in Pend Oreille County. Introducing Alia Russell.
I went to school initially for business management, but then I got into my own business, and so it opened my eyes to entrepreneurship. So that's what I pursued for my BA, and all of my accomplishments have been, based on the opportunities provided by the tribe. So I always knew that once I felt ready to come back to the tribe, that I would go back because I owed it to them for, putting me through school and supporting me through my academics. My success definitely has been through experience and in relying and trusting in those mentors to guide me to success. I'm never alone, and I know that. I have a strong executive team, so I'm through the building of even Kalispell Casino, I work closely with my mentors because I know that they're there to support me, and I really feel like any tribal member or community member that's interested in growing within the organization can rely on and trust the mentors like I have. Our casinos are definitely essential to our government, but I know that the tribe and our leadership, they focus on diversification outside of gaming, so bring other entities to our community as well as tribal members for job opportunities and growth. So just continuous growth. I don't think there's really a limit to what the tribe has in store for the future.
Hi, can you hear me? I'd really just like to thank Meg Miller for nominating me for this award. I'd like to thank my mentors, Nick Pierre and Kevin Zenishek, for all the support that they've provided to me since I've come home from Texas in 2015. Thank you to Glenn Ninema and our tribal leadership for all the opportunities that you've created, not only for myself or tribal members, but for our surrounding community, and my friends and family, my husband and my children, for believing in me and inspiring me to continue every day. So thank you all. And this is an honor. So thank you to the Spokane Journal of Business as well.
Next up is Joe Gellatly, CEO of Medcurity Incorporated. With a mix of experience in healthcare and information technology, Joe has co-founded a company in Spokane that helps healthcare providers protect sensitive information and remain compliant with federal patient privacy laws. The company has attracted interest from venture capitalists this year and appears to be growing. At the same time, Joe is becoming an important voice in Spokane's entrepreneurial ecosystem and by extension, a big proponent of the Inland Northwest business community. Learn more about Joe Gellatly.
I had a history in my career of either doing IT sales or tech support, kind of back and forth. So been around technology for a while and had the opportunity at a company in town to bring that together specifically for healthcare. And there's just so much opportunity and need in healthcare, and definitely an altruistic part of our mission of working in healthcare that really drew me to it. And I spent about a decade at a health IT company in town, and then stepped out of there to do my own consulting, and then ultimately partnering up with my co-founder, Amanda Hepper, and started McCurity. For me, entrepreneurship has been a passion for a lot of years. So certainly I would say that since I was about 20, I planned and worked toward getting to be in a position where I could be a part of a startup. I think watching what was happening down in the Silicon Valley and from Spokane and saying, we got to bring some of that here. This is really exciting. That has been a passion and a side hobby of mine to follow that, right? And to explore and do little mini startups and little projects always in my spare time. So to have the opportunity to bring that to what I get to focus on full time right now has been it's a fulfillment of a dream, and it's been very exciting. And Spokane has just really supported that really well. The community has really helped us get to this point that we're at, where we get to do this. Spokane, we have some great momentum and traction in our startup world. So with the work that Ignite Northwest is doing with support from GSI, and many in town that have had some success that are putting their time back into mentoring and being available. I've never had a coffee meeting or a meeting over beers be rejected by somebody in town. People just take their time and say, hey, yeah, let's talk. I'll tell you about what I did, what I learned.
All right, well, thank you to the Journal of Business for putting on this virtual event. You're doing a great job. This has been fun. I'm here with my wife, Bonnie. One of the quotes in entrepreneurship is that building a startup is like jumping off a cliff and building an airplane on the way down. And so it's awesome to have a spouse who says, yeah, sure, jump off a cliff. Or, well, in this case, she said, let's jump off a cliff. It's definitely been a team activity for the whole family to be a part of this. And I want to thank my co-founder, Amanda Hepper, and our board member, Tom Simpson. I know they both, I think, put in some nominations, but also had some really nice statements in the article today in the Journal, which was really cool to see. But definitely I share this acknowledgement with everybody who's on the MedCurity team working really hard. We got a lot of hard work ahead still, but it's very nice to pause, and definitely an honor to be a part of this. So thank you for including me. And I think my parents are watching, so I just want to say I wouldn't be here without you. So that's all. Thanks, everybody. It's great to be a part of this, and nice to be a part of everybody else that we've seen so far today, too.
Awesome. Thanks, Joe. Last but far from least is Amy Sargent. She's the Director of Provider Services for Multicare Health Systems operations in Spokane. In that capacity, Amy is responsible for recruiting physicians and other medical professionals to work in the Inland Northwest. In her job, she's marketing not just the organization she works for, but also the Spokane lifestyle. It's a challenging mission, but it's an easy pitch for Amy, who has an affection for her community that comes across clearly in her words and actions. She started with Rockwood Clinic and has seen more than her share of change through a series of acquisitions, but she's managed to ascend through the ranks of her profession through it all. We're pleased to present Amy Sargent.
So I work in physician recruitment, and so we hire the physicians, PAs, and nurse practitioners. And so physician recruitment is a little bit of marketing. We're bringing people from all over the country to Spokane. So we're selling Spokane and then our healthcare system so that they will choose to work for us and move to Spokane. So it's a little bit of HR and marketing. It's a good combo. I love what I do. I love introducing physicians to the Spokane community. I love promoting Spokane. I love where I live. So the most gratifying part about my position is that the physicians are very thankful to have found our opportunity, and our administration is very thankful that we found the physician. And then the physician partners are very thankful to have a new physician joining their team. And so there's a lot of gratification and reward in the work that I do. Spokane has great restaurants, great shopping. It's the perfect city for us, for my family. Advice I would give would be to work hard, to be punctual, to be responsible, to be reliable, to adapt to change. I've gone through a lot of changes since I joined the organization, and change can be difficult, but they've always been good changes in the end. So I would just say continue to work hard and do your best.
Hi there. Thank you so much for the nomination, and congrats to the fellow Rising Stars. I also hope I get to meet you in person someday. I feel really honored to be recognized with all of you. And thank you to the Journal of Business for putting on this virtual event. You guys have done a great job with it. I just feel very fortunate for the great team that I get to work with every day at Multicare Health System. I have an amazing husband who's right here beside me, who supports me in everything that I go for, including MBA school when we have two small little girls at home and both work full-time jobs. My girls would be here today, but they are out playing soccer. So anyways, I just want to thank everyone. We would not be where we are today without our parents who have encouraged us along the way and have supported us. They're with our girls at soccer right now while we're doing this. So anyways, I really appreciate being honored, and thank you so much.
Congratulations again to all of our Rising Stars here tonight, past and present. We wanted to take a moment to also recognize all of the mentors who have helped these individuals rise up. To those of you who have helped believe in us along the way and helped us rise up in our companies, communities, and careers, thank you. It's been a pleasure for Washington Trust Bank to participate today in honoring this year's Rising Stars, and we hope you all have a wonderful rest of your evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Alyssa, and thank you, Washington Trust, again, for your valued long-term partnership. We hope you've all enjoyed getting to know a little bit better the 10 honorees of this year's Rising Stars. I'm sure you'll agree that their spirit and their drive are symbolic of what Spokane is all about, and share my optimism about what it can become. I'd also like to thank the Journal team who worked so hard to make this virtual event possible, especially Lynn Parrish, who put together all those great videos you just saw. On the housekeeping front, I want you to know that tomorrow, as a registered attendee of the event, you'll receive an email from us with 3 things in it. One is a link to the Rising Stars supplement in a digital flipbook. The second is a recording of this event so you can watch it whenever you'd like. By the way, the supplement will be in our paper today. And the third thing is a discount code. We'd love you to have you as a subscriber if you're not already. Keep abreast of the Spokane's business news. So until next time, take good care, stay well, stay focused on the future, be extra kind to everyone, and know that together we'll make it through this and our community will be emerged much stronger than it is. Have a great evening. We are adjourned.